Lewy Williams, gearing up for the World Championship, your debut at Ali Pali as well. How are you feeling?
Yeah, buzzing for it. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been so excited to play a game of darts, to be honest with you. Still feels a bit surreal that I qualified for it. So yeah, I just can't wait to get on the stage.
What's the preparation been like? Are you treating it like every other kind of darts event? Because it isn't.
Yeah, kind of, apart from doing a bit of set play in practice now. But yeah, I'm still practicing the same amount with the same people and that. So yeah, I've kept everything else the same.
Well, go on, talk us through what your usual routine is, who you're playing with, how long you're playing for, because fans will be quite interested in how much dedication it takes to be a top darts player.
Yeah, to be fair, I had a few different practice partners over the years. Obviously, I've been practicing with Nathan Aspinall, Ross Smith, Richie Eddowes, a couple of the lads like that. So usually we just play a couple of games, say best of 11 or something like we do on Pro Tours. Or we start off with a bit of 1-2-1, say we do after about half hour, 45 minutes. And then mostly just do 3 hours playing games, to be honest. So you just match practice. So I think that's the best form of practice, really.
So are you doing that in person? Because obviously Nathan's up in Stockport and most of the time you're down in Kent, right?
Yeah, down in Kent. So me and Nathan have stopped practicing together a bit. So now I'm practicing with Ross, because he lives in Dover. I've had a couple with Rob Cross. Richie's in Hastings. So yeah, mixing up, and then a couple of local players as well. So yeah, getting a good bit of practice in.
Well, look, this is the sort of start of a second year on the tour for you, or the end of the first, however you want to look at it. How do you look back at your first 12 months as a tour card holder? Because there's been some real highs in there, some big scalps you've taken. Yeah,
it's been mad, to be honest. Like at the start of the year when I got my tour card, I just thought, right, just make the most of the Pro Tour, maybe pick up a win here and there, and just see how it goes, even a couple of legs, you know what I mean? But yeah, since then, like on my first day, it was Van der Berg, then Kim Ibrex, then Van Gerwen. So I thought, all right, yeah, it's pretty easy actually. I'll take it a step up, you know what I mean? I have some new ambitions, my goals a bit. And yeah, since I obviously qualified for Europeans, or stuff like that, now qualified for the Worlds. It's been a mad year, but it's been brilliant. Yeah, I've loved it.
Yeah, we had a chat at the European Championship where you were making your TV debut. I know you'd played UK Open, and we spoke when you played there as an amateur qualifier, but being a sort of dedicated main stage primetime game at the European Championship. I know you lost that one to Jose, but that was a new experience for you, wasn't it? And playing on the TV, a lot of players struggle to bring their floor game up there. You seem like you quite took to it though.
Yeah. Honestly, I felt at home on the stage because I had I'd say 10 minutes on the stage before the event actually started to try and get used to the atmosphere, just how the stage was really. And yeah, I felt at home straight away. So as soon as I got on the stage, I enjoyed it. A couple of 180s, missed a couple of doubles unfortunately, but yeah, no, it's a good game and I loved every minute of it. That's why I can't wait for the Worlds next. I think I've got a little bit of experience playing on TV before now. So I'm just raring to go for that now.
And even though it wasn't on TV, we saw you play in Budapest. You won a couple of games, played a really good game against Krzysztof Ratajski, who's one of the fancied players at Ali Pali. To beat him and play as you did in front of 4,000 fans pretty much in Budapest. I mean, that just gives you a little taste of what it's going to be like at Ali Pali. But you're expecting it to be different again, because this is the biggest tournament in the world.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the guy playing in the World Championships, obviously I've never heard of him. He hasn't got a tour card, but obviously he's qualified for the World, so he's going to be a cracking player. Whereas when I played Krzysztof, I kind of knew what to expect. I knew how his game was, how fast he threw, what type of darts he was going to throw. So yeah, this is going to be a totally new experience. Obviously, more in the crowd, biggest stage, data player I've never heard of. So it's going to be a mad challenge, but I can't wait for it.
Where were you watching the World Championship last year?
I think it was in my house watching it, to be honest with you.
What with it? Well, like solo or like all the family around? Is it like a family or household kind of thing when you're watching the darts?
Yeah, to be fair, my first time I went to the Ali Pali with my dad, and I was about 10 or 11 years old to watch the final. I forgot what it was. I think it might have been Adrian Lewis against Gary Anderson, I think it was. And I wasn't even playing darts at the time, but I said to my dad, that'd be crazy if one day I got on the stage. I wasn't even playing. And yeah, a couple of years down the line, I'm like, wow, this is going to be absolutely mental. I've gone from a kid, that being my dream to play on there, to actually making a dream a reality.
Wow. So what was your experience like when you went to watch it as a fan? Because I'll tell you what, going to the World Championship final is, I mean, loads of darts fans who've never had the chance to do that. I mean, it's a special night, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, it was crazy. The atmosphere in the back rooms of it, like where everyone's there just having a couple of pints or whatever for the starts, and then you go in, it's non-stop singing. It's mental. I was going every year for the past, I'd say 5 years, something like that, 6 years. And yeah, so I think that might help on it, because I know what the crowd's gonna be like. I know how loud it is in there, so that could be a little advantage. But yeah, I never know.
So when you went as a fan, were you one of the ones singing? Were you giving it the boring tables, Colo Yaya?
Oh, obviously, yeah, 100%.
Well, you might have been in there, like where you've seen crowds turn, particularly the pre-Christmas crowd at Ali Pali. They are feisty. A lot of Christmas parties and everything. They can suddenly decide we want this guy to win. Now they might suddenly decide that the Japanese qualifier you're playing, Shibata, they might go, actually, yeah, we fancy seeing this Japanese lad win. How have you done anything to try and get your head around what it's going to be like if they turn on you?
No, not really. I've had a couple of practice sessions where I've told my girlfriend to start booing at me doing throws, but that's about it, really. No, not really. It wouldn't really bother me. I'm not gonna lie. I remember my first round in Budapest. I played that home nation qualifier. Granted, there wasn't too many in the crowd, a couple hundred. But you could hear things they were saying. I was like, oh, okay, so this is what it's like, man. I know how Gezi feels now. But yeah, no, I think I handle it well, and I think I'll always handle it well if the crowd's against me. Because that's it. You can't expect everyone to love you all the time. You're always going to have one game where they're going to be against you, so you might as well get used to it now.
Have you talked to Rob Cross about that feeling of stepping out on the stage? Because I've spoken to Rob many times. In that first year where he turned up and was just winning things left, right and centre, and then went to the World Championship, he was sat there really confident going, look, I've played at the European Championships, made the final, I've been on telly loads, I'm confident it's going to be fine. And as soon as he walked on stage, he was like, I've never experienced anything like that. That is something different.
Yeah, we literally had the same conversation last week when he was at practice with me. He literally said exactly the same thing. He's like, when you go on it, it makes you relax and all that. Like, it's going to be a massive experience, but he's got to enjoy it. Because he said set plays a lot different, which obviously I knew that anyway. But yeah, I've never actually played in a tournament with set play either, so there's so many different factors to take in. But like I said, I'm just going to enjoy myself up there and see how it goes.
What are the goals? Because you're sort of 93rd in the world rankings right now. If you do go to Ali Pali and win a couple of games, all of a sudden you jump up potentially into the top 64, and you get a year next year where you're like, well, my tour card's safe. I don't have to worry about any of that. I can just play with freedom, a bit like you seem to have been doing this year. Is that on your mind, or are you just going there and enjoying the experience?
Yeah, kind of. To be fair, there's been so many different things on my mind this year. Like I said, when I was just starting off on the tour, I thought I'd just win a couple of games. And then when I was getting into it, doing really well, I thought, okay, climb up the rankings a bit, try and qualify for stuff. And then it's gone from, yeah, I'm definitely going to keep my tour card in the next 2 years now. There's no way I'm not going to be in the top 64. That's my next goal. If I can do it after the first year, then that's great. Then I've achieved my 2-year goal after 1 year. Then you can set more goals, qualify for more TV events, and just keep improving all the time.
So when the draw was made and you saw you'd got Shibata in the first round, you know that Gabriel Clemens awaits the winner, German #1. And I'll warn you now, there's a lot of German fans who come over to Ali Pali. I don't know what it's going to be like this year with the travel restrictions, but he will have some support. Do you look much beyond that? I mean, have you looked at like the rest of the quarter or who you could face or anything like that?
No, not really. I knew I'd have Gabriel, obviously, but I was doing an interview the other day and I got told I'd have Johnny Clayton in the third round. I didn't even know that myself. So I'll make sure I win the first 2 games and I'll give Johnny a run for his money, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But no, Gabriel's a great player. He's a good lad as well. I think I played him earlier on the year and I think I've beat him 6-3, something like that. But obviously he's only on the Pro Tour, not on a big stage, not a set play. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but that might be in the back of his mind if I was to play him in the second round.
Has it sort of got real yet? I'm speaking to Nathan in a bit, but I remember that he's said before World Championships that this sort of time now, a couple of days before it starts, doesn't feel like the tournament's about to get underway. It's only sort of the day before you step on stage where a bit of the nerves, a bit of the excitement. At what sort of stage are you at?
I don't really know, to be honest. I'd love to tell you. Like, it all just feels a bit weird at the minute. I still can't even believe I qualified. Never mind thinking I'm going to be playing in a week's time. I'm glad I'm on like towards the later sessions, obviously in the first rounds, because I get to watch a bit of it on TV, get a bit of a feel of it, you know what I mean, and just see where it goes from there. But no, yeah, there's no nerves. Like, I'm just absolutely buzzing every day and waking up like, well, it feels like Christmas, you know what I mean? It's mad. It's mad.
Feels like Christmas. Excellent stuff, Louis. Best of luck, mate. And who knows? Maybe you'll get that game with Johnny Clayton in round 3.
Lovely stuff. Top man. Cheers, Dan.